Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com back with another news update, this time concerning our favourite and yours, Stephanie McMahon. Now, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the whole reason, or a big reason, that Ronda Rousey has been brought into WWE in such a way is to make a major mainstream star out of Stephanie McMahon. This is the reason behind that rumoured WrestleMania match between Stephanie and Ronda, perhaps with the addition of Triple H on Stephanie's team and a male mystery wrestler on Ronda's team, hopefully The Rock. The feeling is that they want to get all these people involved to make it a really big marquee match to make Stephanie more of a mainstream star. Why would they do this? I guess because they want her to carry on Vince's legacy in a way. You know, Vince McMahon is a huge name in wrestling, perhaps the biggest name in all of wrestling, and also a kind of a known name in the non-wrestling sphere. If you mention Vince McMahon to someone, they might not know who he is, but they might do, even if they're not a wrestling fan. If you mention Stephanie McMahon to someone who's not a wrestling fan, chances are they're probably not going to know who she is. I think the feeling with WWE at the minute, if this story is to be believed, is that by making Stephanie more of a mainstream star with Ronda Rousey's help, this will help WWE's legacy going forward. That's just how I read it. That's my expertise there. It's a guess. It's a pure guess. This kind of fits in with a story that I'm going to talk about a little bit later on in the video regarding Vince and the transfer of power once he gets too old or moves on to other things. But yeah, with Vince, you know, he's not getting any younger. I can totally see why they'd want to make Stephanie a mainstream star. I guess the only other question is, what kind of reception would this get from wrestling fans? Obviously, Stephanie's a very polarizing, maybe even an unpopular figure amongst certain sections of the WWE universe, and I think maybe if she were pushed down our throats even more than she is already, it could get a little bit testy online. Could be a few angry tweets sent, just a few. In other news, former Impact wrestler MJ Jenkins has reportedly received a tryout at the Performance Center, according to Squared Circle Sirens. Jenkins is an independent wrestler who has wrestled in promotions such as, I think, Shine and CZW, and also she signed for Impact in July of last year, but only stayed there for a few months before leaving in November. You may have seen her wrestle in a Battle Royal, which I believe was won by ODB, and also in a losing effort to Rosemary. I read that off her Wikipedia page. I've not seen those matches. I'm sorry. However, I think the important news here is that WWE are still committed to finding new female talent from around the world, because you could say that they brought in a lot for the Mae Young Classic. They've bolstered the size of the NXT women's roster with some of those figures, and also they've, you know, pulled some people up to the main roster such as Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose and the like. But I think it's important to note that there seems to be a continued commitment to bringing in new female talent all the time. And finally, even though Vince McMahon said he wasn't going to step away from WWE in his XFL announcement sort of press conference thing, Dave Meltzer believes that it could lead to a transfer of power, which would leave everything in the hands of, guess who? That's right, the game, Triple H. It's all about the game and how you play it. He's played the longest game in wrestling history, and now he's about to come out. It's like Game of Thrones, he's about to come out on top. Yes, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the general feeling, apparently, is that when Vince concentrates more on the XFL, Triple H will be brought more to the fore, simply because there aren't enough hours in the day for Vince McMahon to run the biggest professional wrestling promotion in the world and also a football league. There's just not enough time for him to do both of those things to the best of his ability. The tide seems to have already turned a little bit in that direction, because there have been reports online that Triple H has been put in charge of 205 Live. You know, apparently the hiring of Borash was to be a member of Triple H's team, which is going to be like his little core group who really run WWE, I guess, if this story is true, once Vince relinquishes a little bit of power, relinquishes a little bit of control. I, for one, would be very excited if this was true, because I love Triple H as a booker and as a wrestler. He's like my boy, but I love him especially as a booker because, I mean, NXT TakeOvers knock it out the park on a consistent basis. Can you imagine if the main roster was handled with such care and such dedication and commitment to each individual storyline and just all the good things that make NXT so special? I'm really keen for it. Hopefully this is true. In my opinion, I hope this is true. Do you? Let us know in the comments section down below. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching this quick news update. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. You can follow me here on Twitter at JackTheJobber, and you can follow all of us at Cultaholic. Don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Cultaholic. And of course, never ever forget to join us.